Baramatī ashram, and en route we did see that the distinguished guests were greeted by tens of thousands of people and artists showcasing art from different states and union territories. The beautiful Sabarmati river, and on the banks of it, Sabarmati ashram, and this is the place which is called Hriday Kunj, where Gandhiji lived for nearly 13 years. Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi being welcomed at Sabarmati ashram. After working for 21 years in South Africa, Gandhiji returned to India in January 1915, and he chose to settle in Ahmedabad for a number of reasons. He could serve the country better through his mother tongue Gujarati. Ahmedabad, as an old center of hand weaving, would serve well to promote the spinning wheel or the charkha. And as a prime city of Gujarat, Ahmedabad would be a good source of financial support too.
Gandhiji never visited America, but he had a deep connect with people. Martin Luther King was inspired by Gandhiji's philosophy of truth and non-violence as powerful tools during the civil rights movement in America. He said, when I go to other countries, I go as a tourist, but when I come to India, I come as a pilgrim. And this is the entrance to the Sabarmati ashram. It has been preserved as it was during Gandhiji's time. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji will receive President Donald Trump and the First Lady Melania Trump. A traditional welcome with a khadi angavastra or a stole. The significance being explained here to the President and the First Lady. And this is Hriday Kunj. This is where Mahatma Gandhi stayed during his 13 odd years here at Sabarmati. His presence is still palpable here. There is a deep sense of peace that permeates the air. His words still vibrate in the stillness here. The President will experience the essence of spiritual India as he enters this hallowed space.
President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Modi garlanding the photo of Mahatma Gandhiji there, and we do see a prayer written downstairs. The prayer was written by Mahatma Gandhi in English, and it was titled Lord of Humility, where he expressed, let us be embodiments of self-sacrifice, embodiments of godliness, humility personified, that we may know the land better and love it more. This is the meeting place where Gandhiji used to meet a lot of people.
Interestingly, although Gandhiji lived here for 13 years, he didn't have a room to himself. He spent most of his time in this veranda, spinning the charkha, or the spinning wheel, as we can see in the visuals. And that little room on the left was his study, where he wrote letters every day to people all across India who were connected with the freedom movement, and people from all across the world who wrote to him. This is also where he met the leaders of the freedom movement and international guests. This is where various decisions regarding India's freedom struggle were taken.
It was while living here that Mohandas Gandhi came to be known as Mahatma Gandhi. And this is the symbol of self-reliance, the spinning wheel, charkha.
The charkha was Gandhiji's great tool for empowerment and dignity of labor. President Trump and the First Lady giving it a try. It also has great spiritual significance. Gandhiji used to say 1 hour spent in spinning would be equivalent to an hour in self-development for the spinner. It's very meditative when you spin the charkha. In the meanwhile, Motera Stadium is abuzz with excitement. Lata Ben explaining how the yarn is spun. For most people, trying the charkha for the first time can be a little unnerving, but once you get used to it, you understand what Gandhiji meant when he called it the physical embodiment of his constructive program as a representation of Swadeshi, self-sufficiency, and at the same time, interdependence, because the wheel is at the center of a network of cotton growers, carders, weavers, distributors, and users. It also embodied the dignity of labor, equality, unity, as all volunteers were to spin each day, and finally independence was achieved. In fact, it has been called the livery of our freedom. That is what Khadi signifies for us. A few moments of introspection, trying to absorb the essence of Mahatma Gandhi, his teachings, and his philosophy. It's hard to imagine, but this is exactly how the Mahatma would have sat here with his international visitors. He too had a great sense of humor.
Interestingly, Gandhiji could write from both his hands, and sitting here in the veranda, he would meet a lot of world leaders and other guests, as we now see the special visitor today, the American President, Donald Trump, now penning his thoughts in the visitor's book. Foremost in the movements launched by Gandhiji from this very place, the Sabarmati Ashram, was the 385-kilometer salt march from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi on the south Gujarat coast. Interestingly, Gandhi Smarak Sangrahalaya, Sabarmati, is open on all days of the year, from 8:30 in the morning till 6:30 in the evening. Daily about 2,000 to 3,000 footfalls, and on a holiday, Sunday, weekend, that increases to about 5,000 footfalls.
Mahatma Gandhi believed in an openness. He used to say, I do not want my house to be walled on all sides and my windows to be stuffed. I want the cultures of all lands to be blown about my house as freely as possible. But I refuse to be blown off my feet by any. This perhaps is the openness that he talked about. The people of all cultures, all traditions came here. The three monkeys of Mahatma Gandhi: speak no evil, see no evil, hear no evil. These were originally given to Mahatma Gandhi by a Japanese monk, and they became an essential part of his philosophy.
And those philosophies, Jasleen, are still very relevant and encourage each one of us to ensure that we imbibe the core values of humanity, truth, non-violence, love, compassion, service, sacrifice, forbearance, and equality. The Sangrahalaya, the museum, consists of a gallery that is titled My Life is My Message. And it consists of paintings, photo enlargements of some of the vivid events of Gandhiji's life, his quotations, letters, other relics. There is a library too. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi encourages one and all, especially the youth, to understand Gandhiji, his philosophy, connect with history. There's the archives that ensures collection, preservation, and display of Gandhiji's writings, photography, voice records, films, personal belongings. As we now see President Donald Trump interacting with the members of the Gandhi Smarak Sangrahalaya, Sabarmati.
So these were few moments of reflection, of going inwards before moving onwards towards the next leg. Mahatma Gandhi said that to find oneself, one has to lose oneself in the service of others. And this is a pilgrimage where one can find this philosophy and through it find oneself.
And now from the Sabarmati Ashram, the cavalcade will move to the new Motera Stadium. And for today, perhaps Motera is all set to transform into the loudest stadium in the world.
That is quite true. We've been hearing loud cheers emanating from the stadium. The President's daughter, Ivanka Trump. Gandhiji believed in the concept of living in a commune with just the bare necessities, because he said that nature gives you enough for your needs, though not enough for your greed. And this was the ideal living conditions that Gandhiji talked about. The residents here would work for 8 hours a day, and in the morning and evening spend time in meditation and prayer, and prayers from all faiths were recited here.
In fact, members of the ashram began their day by gathering to pray, and in the evening they returned to pray again and take stock of the day's activities. The entire environment, the trees, the calmness, the positive vibrations, the energy makes you feel very relaxed.
And also, it sends a shiver down one's spine to think that this is exactly where Mahatma Gandhi lived. To breathe the same air that he once breathed is really special for the visitor.
So whether it's the stillness one can experience at Sabarmati Ashram, or the loudest cheer that awaits at the Motera, it's an array of emotions that engulfs the life of a human being.
Come to think of it, that is the essence of India, isn't it? We are the loudest and the most joyful when we celebrate our festivals with great color and a lot of music and dancing. And yet, when it comes to moments of reflection, we turn inwards. This is a part of life for most Indians. Despite the compulsions of modern day living,
the three monkeys.
The three monkeys embody the very essence of Gandhiji's philosophy of seeing no evil, speaking no evil, and hearing no evil. So when you look for the good in others, you only see the good in others, which gets reflected in your own being. Because Gandhiji said we really are mirrors of each other. Mahatma Gandhi also said that an eye for an eye would eventually turn the world blind. So he talked about compassion, forgiveness, friendship, and understanding with each other. To my great friend, Prime Minister Modi, thank you for this wonderful visit. It has been signed by President Donald Trump.
Also, the First Lady, Melania Trump, has signed there.
Exactly.